What up, everybody? Welcome to the Empire State of Milan. I'm Fabio, that's Beppe, and we're here after the unfortunate loss 1-0 to Parma, man. I mean, let's get immediate reactions here because, damn, that was an ugly game to watch.
Of course, Napoli drops points. We think we're gonna do something about it, and then what happens? We drop points too. It never fails with this fucking team. I don't know. The only good thing about it, I guess, was we got to see the beautiful fourth kit by Slam Jam. That's the only good thing that happened today. Otherwise, what a terrible game.
Terrible indeed. I guess let's just start with like we were discussing. We kind of heard rumors of this jersey in the last week or so, but today they surprised everybody. They put it out. Looked beautiful. Did you have a preference over the red or silver that Mike was wearing?
Red. I'm always going to go for the red, and it was actually beautiful to see the entire thing being red, socks and all, and it just fit perfectly on the field. It looked awesome, but I wish the people wearing it were a little bit better.
Done a little better, absolutely. So let's talk about kind of what we saw today. Again, the one clear chance that I'm reminded of in my head is Leao's strike that hits the post. I mean, that's probably our best opportunity. But, when you think back at this game, who's the person that you're kind of fixating on, good or bad, about this game today?
I feel like they all really played a little shitty. They all played sloppy. They were all afraid to. They were just passing the ball. Everybody was afraid to take a shot. Leao was the only real chance that we had. I mean, it would have been a beautiful goal if it would have went in, but it's just very frustrating because today it just seemed like they were all
off.
Yeah, off, scared. Like nobody wanted to take the responsibility to take that shot. I don't know what was up to them today,
I mean, I agree. I felt they were all basically not in sync. Everybody was making mistakes today. And when we look at it, it's like you said, we saw that Napoli struggled. Juve already dropped points. We needed to get 3 points, at least for the Champions League side, and to go in and end up dropping all three to Parma. Oof. I don't care what the commentator says. That was a bad outcome for us.
We've been escaping the second loss of the year for a while, by saving our asses at the end. Many times this year. I guess it was bound to happen. I just wish it didn't happen like this. Like, it felt like we didn't even try. At least a lot of times me and Franco would thought about, okay, now they're going to score the goal and they're going to salvage another tie. They always do this. They could never just win the game and just be whatever. But they didn't even do that. It was almost like after that goal, it was just, okay, like they didn't even fight for that. I mean, it was only, 8 minutes left? But still. Like, it just, there's nothing, there's no highlights for the entire game. Like, I don't even know what to tell you that I liked. I feel like they were all flat. They were all terrible.
They really were. It's very embarrassing to see us drop points again to a bottom 10 team. And I mean, come on. You know what I don't want to see, Beppe? I don't want to see people out there who start making charts. We win this game, they lose that game. We win this game. Shut the hell up. We cannot even focus on ourselves. This is 3 points completely dropped. It's just so embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Everybody was, at least like you mentioned, now we don't have to have that, oh, well, at least we're still undefeated. No, it's over.
Yeah.
We couldn't show up against Parma today. And again, offensively, Pulisic didn't look great today. Got subbed out early. Then we bring in Fulkrug, who did what? Nothing. He did nothing today.
Nkunku comes on, another player that goes flat. It feels like, and I mean, it's very obvious that the real need of this team is the forwards. We have no real killer. Like Inter has got Lautaro, but then they got Pio Esposito, then they got Thuram. They have all these players that could always step up. We don't even have one. And then also what's hurting us is Captain America is not 100%. It's a big miss. Even though he's there, he's kind of not there. So it's a big
exactly.
loss.
He needs to produce. That's the part that we've been leaning on because despite the injuries, when he gets an opportunity, he's made the best of it. But the last couple of months has not been the case. Same thing for Leao. Like maybe he scores a goal this game, but his only opportunity. It's like of all people, he's like the least I would rank. I would say the midfield really let us down today. Modric wasn't his best. Rabiot far from his best. Jashari. I don't really have many bad things to say about Jashari. He didn't do anything to get himself into trouble.
No.
But it just feels like Rabiot had a subpar game today. Modric was not his best today. And, Stupian, what do you expect from him? Bartosagi's playing center back to start the game where, we just don't have enough quality. I mean, Salamakis has regressed. We haven't seen anything from him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just
playing
it's
sloppy,
sad.
playing, and we got to be careful because he's an automatic yellow card because of just the way he's been. He's more of a liability than like whatever.
Help, a source for something good. I like that he still is. He's one of the type of players that we have that will take on his man and go 1v1. But he hasn't been producing anything lately, and
and ultimately, this is
hurting
exactly why I've said, not to be negative, but I've always said when people have asked about the fact of, but we have a chance, this and that. It's not even about Inter dropping points because Inter rarely does. But even if Inter drop points, look how we follow it. We follow it with something like this. So it's more of us being so wasteful and we just cannot be. I mean, and I'm gonna say this as like a person that thinks what Allegri's been doing with this team is already a miracle on its own because this team had no business being in second place and fighting for the Scudetto even, and they have held up until a couple of weeks ago. They've been holding their own, but unfortunately, now it's come to an end. Maybe it's finally got sank into everybody's minds that let's just fight for Champions League. But let's keep the Champions League going.
What a terrible having to sit back and let's just make top four. I get like the revenue and we got to play Champions League and stuff, but come on, man, it's fucking February.
And then when you make Champions League,
February, and we're already
you don't even do nothing anyway. So what's the point of getting there? You
I
want to
know.
win a title. I understand. Unfortunately,
go out in May, go out end of April. Give me a full. What do they play? 9 months, 10 months out of the year. Give me 7 or 8 of constant. Like we're in the fight. Don't bow out in February already. And that's what it kind of feels like because if the derby doesn't go our way, now forget it. It's 13, 14 points by the time we get there. Who knows?
It's over. This may be wrapped up. I mean, officially, mathematically, it may be wrapped up in April, at the end of April.
I'm just glad we're not on the schedule in April, so it could be against us. Jesus Christ.
Because that already happened. Exactly, that already happened. But the second star, and that was a bad thing. But again, I just hope that this team, I think, has overachieved for what they had to do, and we could only thank Allegri for that. I'm sorry, people that don't like him. Allegri is the real difference of this team. Yes, Modric has been playing well. Rabiot's been playing out of his mind. But who brought Rabiot here? Who made these players? It's all about Allegri. Now, if we make Champions League, which we should, build the team, an adequate team for this next year's campaign. I know it sucks to. We're in February and we're already talking about.
We're talking about August.
Yes,
we're talking about August.
But unfortunately, if you're gonna make Champions League to bring yourself money, you know that to stay in Champions League, you gotta have a team up to par. You're gonna bow out this year. That's fine, but you need to build the team in the summer. You cannot just rely.
You can't throw shit darts in the dark and hope that one of them hits a bullseye. You need to go out and get a couple of more surefire things, a few more veterans to keep elevating the level of the squad.
Because you could see by games like this, you're very limited. You don't have that spark. You don't have that one guy. You think you wanted it to be Leao, your superstar. He's not. Because Leao is more, the juice is not worth the squeeze. I already said this last week.
Yeah.
He's too
inconsistent.
Exactly. He's too inconsistent. You rely, he does something good one day and then you don't get nothing out of him for the next 4 or 5 games. So unfortunately, he's a decent player. He's a very good player, but he's not that guy that you need to win a title, basically. So
I don't like that last line. because he fucking won us the title. So what do you
Yeah,
mean?
he
Like
won.
past tense, he's not doing it for
Who
us
else was on
now.
that team? Kessie,
Giroud,
Giroud.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly. Well, there's a lot of guys, but
Brahim.
uh, again, they ended up with him with the MVP, whatever that means in Serie A. But I'm just saying, we might be. You're right. We might be looking at, you know, maybe in the next year or so, we need to. There's no going to be no $100 million, but maybe move on. And but are you going to trust this team to take the right steps? You know, are they going to build in the right direction? Do they have a solid project, or is it just Allegri willing, his way with a bunch of money ball signings and keep paying 20, $30 million for a striker when a good striker, if you know what you're getting, might be what 60, 70, 80 million. You know,
Well, I want to believe that last year they were limited by the fact to say, you know what, let's do what we can because we don't have Champions League. We don't need that kind of a team. We're going to be playing once a week. We don't need that kind of a team. You make Champions League though, you need to feel the team that's going to play twice a week. You need to feel the team that's going to be competitive. I'm not saying winning Champions League. That's absurd.
I mean, but we're talking like two back-to-back years of again such like an overhaul of your roster.
Yeah, you
I
don't
don't,
have to overhaul, but you're going to have to.
but you're gonna have to add
Pick
real depth. The team that we have now cannot fight for one, you know, direction. Now we're gonna put them on 2, 3, and like you're gonna have to bring some real serious talent. And I hope they're gonna spend the money. We need to see $200-300 million investment, which
Yeah.
is never gonna probably
You know
happen.
what? The
But
team is there. Like, the defense, even though everybody says the defense is weak, we don't allow a lot of goals because of the style that we play under Allegri. So the real need, even though everybody's gonna say it doesn't matter, you could have a Maradona in front of
yeah,
the
but if you
ball,
can't get the ball,
you're still gonna win 1-0 games with Allegri. That's not true because if you have that one player that does, it seems like you saw it today. Everybody was scared. They were passing the ball to each other.
yeah,
I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Semi Pro. There's a part in that movie where Will Ferrell is so scared to
to
take
shoot
the
the
shot
ball,
because he
yeah,
keeps passing it. That's what I felt like today. I felt like they had the ball and they kept
yeah.
hesitating. And when you hesitate enough, the other team is going to take the ball away. So we had that one chance by Leao, but like everybody else,
This we
wasn't
don't
doing
have
nothing.
enough
You
creativity,
don't. You don't.
on the team. We have great players. Modric is a great player, but again, he's 40 years old. He's not doing what he was doing at.
Imagine you're relying on a 40-year-old.
Yeah,
So that's
but
what's
like
wrong right there.
again, Jashari, hopefully he can grow into something good. Rabiot just wasn't good today. Sometimes,
No, yeah, we got to
yeah, you
admit he
have to
wasn't good.
salvage a point, salvage, all 3 points. You play ugly, you still have somehow get a win. That wasn't happening for us today. It's just very disappointing because now, we were here live in New York City with the club, hanging out, and we have a terrible time next week of 6:30 in the morning. So there's going to be no group meetup for that one. But
No,
the
no.
next one after that is the Derby. Now Inter's got a lot of things still in their way before they get to us, but I mean, if they don't win against Cremonese and revenge what happened week 1, this is going to be the biggest embarrassment. Like we're going to be limping into the Derby, and I don't like that.
And
We
to be honest, they're going to be playing with house money because now between the Champions League problems
yeah.
and the fact that they have a nice 10-point lead now, 10, 11-point lead.
I believe it's 10.
So now, even if you lose the Derby, which I know nobody wants to lose the Derby, no matter how much of a distance you have.
You're still 7 points up.
Exactly. So now you're playing with house money. You don't have the same pressure as you would have if we were like 3 points behind.
We need them to stumble next weekend. We need them to have their entire focus on either like Como the week after, or they're so spent from trying to turn around the result against Bodo Glimt that maybe they salvage and drop some points next week. That's you can't
To
expect
be honest,
them to lose.
I'm not even care. I mean, the only thing I'll care about Inter as far as playing games not with us would be for them to get eliminated from Champions League because I just don't want them to go further anymore. But other than that, I don't see me watching
Let it
Inter
keep playing. I
win
think
or
it's
lose
better.
because nothing's gonna happen as far as standings for us. So the only thing I care about is making sure you win the Derby because that's just a matter of pride. Other than that, at this point, I just want to worry about myself. I want to worry about myself, and then obviously whoever's behind us, which is Napoli, Roma, now Como's getting
Yeah.
there. Juve is still there, but Juve looks like it's It's going to be the weak link because Como looks like they're there to stay. They're not going
Yeah,
anywhere.
they're not going anywhere. They're playing great football. Man, it's tough. The realization of there's a potential outcome where Inter can, you know, be even further along. And like again, it's not what they did 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We don't need to give them the extra push up. You know what I'm saying?
It's essentially starting to feel like the 9 seasons, one of the many seasons that
For Juve?
of the Juve win, because the Juve is going to kill. Like eventually, the second place team was never up to par with that team.
Yeah.
This team, as much as we want to hate them because they rob games left and right, that's why I think we're more annoyed. We know they have a good team, like Juve was back then. Juve's got a great team to do it on their own, but they always get their breaks their way. They always get these crazy decisions go their way when they already have a team that they don't need this. So this team looks exactly like a carbon copy of those Juve teams. So I just think it's over. Let's stop talking about Inter. What I do want to talk about is the fact that we have this today for the first time ever. We're going to be we're at the Football Factory. As you can see, this is one of our settings. We just finished watching the game with the Milan club. You know, we're here representing our club, and we're happy to be here. We're hoping to do more and more recordings from here.
Hopefully, the Derby, if we decide to do
Yes.
it after the Derby, will be a fun-filled affair
Yeah.
where we'll be in much better spirits
Yeah.
because this kind of is a lull the first game, but it's all right. It's all right.
And we'll have some of the boys join us because today, I mean, obviously you guys can't tell, but today, for people that don't know about New York City, we're about to receive a blizzard. So a lot of people, whoever did make the game,
They got the hell
decided
out
to
of here.
run. Yeah, as soon as the final whistle, I think they even regretted watching the second half. So they all ran out, which is understandable. We're about to run out as soon as we
Yeah.
finish this. And hopefully for the Derby, will be a normal, because this winter we've been getting battered here in New York City. So
Yeah, we're getting battered inside and outside
Right,
the football
exactly,
factory.
exactly.
Having to unfortunately watch Milan lose to Parma, I would just say, handle Cremonese. Have your head held high. Go into the Derby, like you said. The Derby is the Derby. Form doesn't matter before that game. Just don't give Inter any satisfaction. And I'm going to hope they get by because I want them to have their mind everywhere for at least a few more weeks. So
yeah,
maybe,
but it's too much to fall.
you know,
You're not talking about one game. You're talking about way too many games to fall, and we got to do our part. We ain't running no table.
I know. That's the
That's what I
no
mean.
more. Please, no more charts, people. No more charts.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, it's us. We're here, the Empire State of Milan. We'll see you guys next week.
And that's all, folks.